I'd like to start off by saying that at the end of the day, folks, we are all wrestling fans. Whether we watch just one particular company or multiple wrestling companies, perhaps across multiple continents, across multiple time zones, which means we never ever sleep. We live off caffeine and God knows what else for the love of professional wrestling. And to be perfectly goddamn honest, when it comes to professional wrestling, when it's done right, it is the greatest form of sports and live entertainment and theater that we will ever see in our goddamn lives. There's no movie, there's no music, there's no concert, there's nothing that can compare to professional wrestling. And whether you're a fan that's been watching for just a few months or multiple years or nearly 40 years like myself, you grew up on the goddamn stuff. You've watched multiple territories and you have just dived into the history of professional wrestling. The point is, professional wrestling is the love. It's the mistress of many. Even those that are married, they goddamn love it. They bleed it. They sweat it. They pay the price of being a fan. That is the key word, being a fan. And even if you're in the wrestling media and you work really goddamn hard at it, and I know some people that work in the wrestling media and are really goddamn good at it, and don't believe their own hype, and don't love the smell of their own goddamn farts, but if you do love the smell of your own goddamn farts, here's a word to the wise. Here's just a bit of advice. Maybe don't do that. Maybe stop, smell the roses, pull your head out of your own goddamn ass, don't believe your own goddamn hype, and maybe at the end of the day, you'll realize that yes, it is a job, but you need to have fun. Also, you need to learn to not take it so goddamn seriously, and maybe, just maybe, don't attack people that have never had a goddamn problem with you, ever. That have never said one bad goddamn thing about you until you pushed them for no goddamn reason. Because maybe then you'll be seen as what you always have been. And this goes to multiple people. A lot of goddamn wrestling media. People that were in professional wrestling that now are just part of the media. People that think that they should be in professional wrestling despite having no discernible talent to be anywhere near a wrestling ring. But when it comes to being wrestling media, well, just learn your place, know your goddamn role, and maybe don't be a rice paper thin-skinned bitch that uses stuff like sympathy to retreat from a fight that you fucking picked. That being said, I'm John Renton with my review of WWE Raw from Kansas City, Missouri. I wonder if you guys can guess who that was directed at. Look, there was a certain chat that happened on Twitter a little bit earlier, and I wasn't going to bother addressing it, but you know what? This particular person has attacked a lot of people that I like and a lot of people that I respect, and they seem to think that their shit just doesn't goddamn stink. Well, guess what? It fucking does. And I fucking had it. I fucking goddamn had it. I don't usually do that shit, but I fucking had it. Speaking of what I fucking had it with, I've kind of had it with Raw. And here's the reason why I've had it with Raw. Because the show just isn't all that entertaining. There are entertaining moments. We are speeding towards WWE Backlash France. They were at the T-Mobile Center. And I'm not going to be reviewing SmackDown this week. Why? Because, quite frankly, I'm going to be working, and also then Backlash France starts a little bit early on. Well, on Saturday, that is. And I don't want to catch up on SmackDown because I need sleep. So, unfortunately, Logan Paul is here, along with that speed guy. Look, I know there are people that like him, and Logan Paul has taken to the in-ring work and the promos like a goddamn fish to water, and I give him credit for that. He's a piece of shit. I really feel for the goddamn fact that he's going to be welcoming a kid into this world soon. Whoever actually ends up, whoever the woman is, Nia something, she's an idiot. How dare you want to fucking get with Logan Paul? He must have those sweet dollars to get with somebody like that, or maybe she's just as bad as he is. And that speed guy, good goddamn Christ. If there was a poster child for late term abu, I'll just leave it right there. He would be it. Patrick Mahomes, he kind of does the high five. Yay, you son of a bitch. Yeah. Patrick Mahomes doesn't make a lot of good decisions. None of the Mahomes family actually does. His brother, read up on his brother. But yeah, Patrick Mahomes, I mean, he doesn't make good friends, and he definitely doesn't, decide to marry good people. His gold digger wife. I mean, just look at her. God, she drips with insincerity. I'm being mean because I don't care. So, Judgment Day greets him. Cole and Pat McAfee welcome us. The draft rules goes over all that. Becky is here to defend the title. Liv shows up without her pants. Kier, stop thinking about it. I know you're thinking about it. You stop it. You get some help. Kier's a good guy. A really good guy. Kier just likes to respectfully imagine Liv without pants. Stop it, Kier. Stop it. You were nowhere near Kansas City. Were you? No, you were in Jersey. I'm kidding. I like Kier. Kier's a good guy. The hell's wrong with you, though, Kier? Being, that way and imagining a dirty blonde without pants. Who would do that? So let's move on. Stop it, Kier. Stop it. So anyway, Nia then shows up. I hit mute because I refuse to listen to anything from Nia unless it is the final breath that she takes. And here's why I say that. Because she decided to use her anti-science bullshit as a way to knock people, especially the Ukraine protests. I don't get, the protests for the war in Ukraine. I do not give a shit if that was said a while ago. She's just as bad as Chris Jericho and deserves the exact same treatment. So, Liv challenged her to a match. Sammy arrives with a very tiny coffee. Holy shit, I know they make cups that small. And, hey, it's Stephanie McMahon, a.k.a. Miss Thank You Vince, a.k.a., the comparison between the steroid trial, what happened to her family, and the victims of 9/11. I don't care if that was almost 23 years ago. She deserves every bit of ridicule that she gets. So Gunther and Kaiser are on Raw. Jade is on SmackDown. Look, none of the people were really going to move brands because they got stuff going. I get it. Damage Control, including Io Sky, that's a nice train to be run. They're on Raw, and Owens is on SmackDown. Gunther with Kaiser took on Xavier with Kofi. It was a fine match, probably the best match of the show. Chops, chops, and chops, and stop provoking him, Xavier. What are you doing? He gets his knee caught up in the ropes. Boom, 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 boom. And there you are. So, yeah, there was a QR code before the match, and then there was an audio glitch. They're going to really try with this stuff. I know people like it, and that's fine, but I don't. I already know I'm not going to like it. He got the single leg crab, Gunther did. Kofi got a towel, was going to throw it in. Xavier says, I can do it, I can do it, I can do it. I can still have a career. No. Got no place else to go. And then Gunther locks in STF and gets the victory. Oh no. Oh no. A wrestler that entered number 1 in the Rumble and has a wife and children. The dogs are in the enclosed pool area and the side garage door is open. So, yeah, that happened. So, Xavier lost. Again, the high point for in-ring action. Kathy is with Jay. Jay yeets and says stuff that doesn't really register with me. But then Dominic suddenly leaves the locker room, and then Liv leaves the locker room, and ooh-doo-doo. I know why they're doing it. They're doing it because Liv's going to get in Dominic's head. And then it's going to be Dominic on a pole. Oh no, it's going to be the custody of Dominic ladder match again. No, we don't need that. Where the fuck was Vicky? So anyway, we see the Chiefs PR staff, one of the players, and remember the bullshit that happened when the parade got, interrupted by a gun nut, a piece of shit, that everybody associated with him deserves to go to jail, especially if they knew about it. And there was a young man that was prominently featured. No children, no but innocent people should have to go through that stuff. Felt bad for the young man. It was nice that they had him on the show. Unfortunately, what was not nice that they had on the show was Logan Paul and this speed guy. He needs to end up like River Phoenix on October 31st, 1993. I'll let you decide which one I'm talking about. So, we get, they welcome Patrick Mahomes. And Punk's on Raw. Lashley and the Profits are on SmackDown. I think they're called The Pride. Braun is on Raw. More like Braun. Yay, he's back. 40 years old, coming off of neck fusion surgery. He ain't got long. And Tiffany is on SmackDown. Spell that. Wait, Noah, can she spell Utah? I like Noah. That still rings in my head. I actually was talking to a friend from Utah recently, and thanks, Noah. I couldn't talk to them properly because I kept thinking that. So, Jay then interrupts Logan Paul and this speed idiot, who I don't know who the fuck he is, but he just looks like the most miserable motherfucker. He just looks like somebody you would just want to just Just say, go over there, go play over there and on that freeway. So anyway, Jay interrupts him. Then here's Finn and JD. And Logan Paul gets the Super Bowl rings from Patrick Mahomes. So 3 rings that he has because he's really good. And then he accidentally clocks JD, and they put really stupid strawberry jam makeup on him. Here's Braun, and I feel total indifference that he's back. There was a time where he was over. That segment was bad. It was really long. So then Truth made some deal with Gable. It's going to be a tag title shot. Way to get Alpha Academy on the show. Sammy then attacks Gable. That's leading to a match a little bit later that's going to have more repercussions. Kathy's with Booker. Drew basically interrupts. I know how you feel about Punk. I was hoping that he would lay Booker out. Not because I want Booker injured. I just don't want Booker on commentary. He can go back to his reality school. Or his reality wrestling school. Whatever. Sammy then took on Here Comes Bronson. It was fine. David versus Goliath. And then Gable interrupted and caused a DQ. So there you are. And then there was a splash by Here Comes Bronson on Sammy, and then he hits a DVD on Gable. So maybe we get a 3-way at Backlash. I don't know. So, on the Chad Gable is what I kept calling him. He kept acting like a Chad, and I'm not talking about the country. So, we see Fall Guy rolling footage. More like rolling Gosling. I will be watching that on Wednesday night, because early access screenings, and shockingly I have different work this week. So, Ron Simmons and JBL, who unfortunately did not die since Friday, is here. And Ron Simmons and Braun have the same hairstyle and the same hairline. The problem, Ron Simmons is significantly older than Braun. LWO Hollywood raised group along with Carlito to continue that feud that nobody cares about, or at least the vast majority of people don't. And LWO Wolfpack are on SmackDown. And Drew's on Raw. And also, you know what? I don't fucking care. I don't care who's on this goddamn. Look up the goddamn results. Nakamura's on SmackDown. It just, none of this matters. I'm sorry. Nakamura's just gonna do more jobs. Drew then yells at both guys, and he says that, well, he shouldn't be picked this late. He knocks Punk. Punk's sent in the skybox, looking pretty cut. Looks like he's about to come back soon. I would guess probably by Money in the Bank. And then basically Drew is going to go up there and get him. And then Gable yells at Alpha Academy, while Maxine looks like she's just stepped out of a gym shower. So, Sheamus interrupts Steiner. We're going to see, old big lad against new big lad. And then Candice took on Maxine Dupree. Maxine hit a kip up and kind of looked like one of those boxing, clown things popping back up. And then we got some goofiness with Ivy Nile being, thrown in like a small child into the post. And then after that indie distraction, Maxine hit the ropes, and then we got the Wicked Stepsister Stomp 1, 2, 3. Ray then has mixed emotions. That's not what it sounded like, but that's what I'm going to go with. He mocks Dominic and makes a Dirty Sanchez joke. Here's Punk in the ring. Drew's up in the skybox. Could easily get back down there. He could. And he channels a pipe bomb and says, when I'm cleared, I'm going to make your life a living hell. I'm going to do this in less time than it took you to be as world champion. Teddy Long and Medusa then do the round 4. So, look, the Punk stuff is fine, but I like what they did, but it made Drew look stupid. He's up there in the skybox like, ring side area is lava currently. So Teddy Long and Medusa do round 4. Judgment Day on Raw. Naomi on SmackDown. Dragunov on Raw. That's good. That's good stuff. And Chelsea Green and Piper Niven are on SmackDown. Liv then took on, a couch that was left out in the rain, or a half-eaten water buffalo. I can't really tell. Later, Tiffany was in the crowd, got attacked by Naomi, and Liv hit Oblivion and won. Let's move on from that. So, good for Liv. Good for Liv, honestly. No, there's no joke about Kier here, but no, seriously, good for Liv. I just wish that she had somebody to work with, because Nia is not good. So Kathy then talks to Pierce, who's in a coronet-like blazer. Oh no, It's freakouts that he's dressed like Jim Cornette from the classic days. Everybody freak out. Woo! Pierce has a live microphone, and I think the audio guy was on Xanax. So, Pierce basically is excited about the next round. McAfee says, grab a tennis racket. That was funny. It was funny to me. So the Dudleys do round 5. Kofi and Xavier are on Raw. Pretty Deadly, the Morons, are on SmackDown. Lyra Valkyria is on Raw. Good for Lyra. She looked genuinely happy. I like Lyra. What a talent. I like Lyra. I wonder who doesn't. Kier. Gee, I wonder. Now I almost wonder if I should maybe wish for Liv not to win the title for a while. Just to punish you. Actually, I hope Liv does win the title. And then I hope Lyra takes it right off of her. Ha! Poor Kier. What a good guy. And Candice and Indy are on SmackDown. I am not really finding reasons to watch SmackDown going forward. So, Awesome Truth beat Otis and Tozawa. I mean, really, does anything need to be said? Also, a little bit earlier, speaking of Alpha Academy, Maxine hit this, like, backwards worm that just looks so terrible. Judgment Day. Yeah, they're backstage, and JD has strawberry jam on his face. Becky will give Liv a shot. It's the Irish Liv connection. Stop it, Kier. Pierce and Aldis do round 6. The Final Testament are on Raw. That's a reason for me not really to care about this show. DIY are on SmackDown. See previous comment about SmackDown. Here Comes Bronson's on Raw. And Blair Davenport is on SmackDown. Okay. Of all the people that you could have called up from NXT, Blair Davenport is certainly one of them. I know the supplemental draft is going on now as I speak, and maybe I'll do a video and compile this stuff. But here's an idea. Maybe don't bother doing the draft this way, because you don't really make it mean anything. Yeah, a few NXT call-ups happen. That's great. So then, Ricochet, Jay, and Andrade, RicoJEY, can't really do that there. Against Judgment Day with Dominic and Jay Pin Balor and end show. That's it. We need fresh feuds. Give me fresh feuds and give me good stuff. So yeah, no SmackDown review this week. As for May, I will see about reviewing Raw. I don't know. It just depends. I got a lot of movies I want to watch. Nevertheless, I stand by everything I said in that intro. Let's all be wrestling fans. Let's all be cool with each other. And let's try to be nice. But when push comes to shove and you push somebody and you push their buttons and everything, even when they try to be nice, maybe they're eventually just going to say, okay, fine. You want to have a problem? You get a little bit back. I'm not perfect. I've never claimed to be perfect. I've said plenty of bad shit. And I will say plenty of bad shit in the future. But the bottom line is I know who I am. I don't pretend to be something I'm not. Embrace who you are. Even if you're just a beat writer that's lucky. So agree, disagree what I said, like, share, subscribe, Twitter handle in the description. I'm John Retlin. I'll see you soon.